How's it going, guys? Today I want to talk about the most common mistakes that people make when starting a new business. But before we jump in the video, if you haven't already checked out my new channel, California Expat, would love you to check it out. I got the link in the description below. But for now, let's talk. So the very first thing that I see people making a mistake at when they're starting a new business is they don't think about the business model. What I mean is how things function within the business. There's so many different ways to run a business. For example, some of them take a lot of staff, a lot of overhead. So think about something like if you were to start a car dealership. Huge expenses, right? You need a ton of land, you need a lot of inventory, you need 1 million employees. Everything's just going to cost so much to have a business like that. On the other hand, say a business where somebody is just creating online courses. Maybe that only needs one person and a freelancer just to help out with some of the things involved in getting that going. One business like the car dealership is going to take continued investment. The more that expands, the more things sell, the more they're going to have to buy more cars, more staff, different things like that. On the other hand, a business like creating online courses, they do most of the work at the very beginning to create great content, perhaps do some videos, maybe add some freebies to attract people to buying the course. But after that, it's really just about marketing and sales. You don't need a big staff. Whether you sell one course or 1 million courses, it's really not going to cost that much more to run a business like that. So the business model that you have at the very beginning is critically important. For me, I gotta say, running a digital marketing agency in California for 15 years, even running a business process outsourcing company here in the Philippines, both business models suck. So that's one of the things I wish someone would have told me at the beginning, that for a business like I have, the more it scales, the more it grows, the more it's going to cost as well, the more risk that there's going to be if something goes wrong, all of these different factors with a business like mine. Does it mean it's a bad business? It doesn't, but it means that it's not as good of a business model as some others, that it's a lot more costly to scale it, and different things like that. Second thing people often don't think through is profit margin. So when it comes to businesses, sometimes businesses like maybe a 7-Eleven or a convenience store, or even a gas station, they're relying on a lot of sales because the profit margins are going to be so low. You know, if you're selling things that just cost a few cents or just cost $1 or $2, you really have to make sure that you're selling so much of that because only a small percentage of that is actually going to be profit. These types of things where it's really lower cost items, you're going to have to sell so much of that. And so it might cost you, for example, you might sell something for $1, but out of that $1, maybe it costs you 50 cents to buy that. Then you got to pay tax on that. Then you got to pay for staff that's going to help sell it. You got to pay for marketing, so many other expenses, rent, on and on. So you can imagine if you're only making, say, 5 cents profit out of something that you sell $1 for, you got to sell an awful lot to make it worth it. Going back to that online course creator example, you're really going to have so much more profit. So maybe if you are selling an online course for, let's say, $100, the profit on that is probably going to be $99. So there's huge profit margins with something like that. So you don't have to sell nearly as many of those to make a business like that successful. Third thing people don't think about enough when starting a new business is making the right employee hire. Now, this is just so critical to your business, and I think so often employers are thinking about how much a new employee is going to cost them. And I get that. It is going to cost you, but I think they really need to flip that on their head and think about how much an employee is going to make them. If you have the right employee, they're going to really make a big difference in your business. And so you really need to be thinking about adding people that are going to add value to your business and are going to help the business make money, not simply be an expense. I spend so much time when it comes to recruiting. We have a recruiting staff and they really know what I'm looking for with potential hires. If they get past them, then they have to get past me. every single employee that gets hired in my companies have to meet me first. I talk through everything with them, and I really care these days about two main things. So the first one for me is the simple one. That's their skills. Are they able to do an amazing job with what they're being employed for? So say, for example, it's a website developer. Do they have great skills, a great background with that? Are they hungry to keep learning more? All of those type of things, what their portfolio looks like, all these type of things are so important. But as I tell my recruitment team, those things only count for about 40% of what I really look for. It's not that them having great skills isn't important, it's critically important. However, even more important, about 60% of what I'm looking for is their character, their values, what type of person they are, what their track record is, because you could have the best employee in the world in terms of skills, but if their personality, who they are as a human being, doesn't match that, chances are they're just going to be a problem. And so we're really looking for character over skills. Skills could always continue to grow. Character, who they are as a person, is likely to remain the same. Fourth thing that I think people make a huge mistake at when it comes to starting a new business is they don't take product market fit seriously enough, meaning what it is that they're going to sell and who it is that they're going to sell to. It's so important to make sure that there's a great fit there, and also that they make sure that there's enough people in the area where they are or wherever they're going to be selling to, whether that's somewhere local, geographically, or online. They really need to make sure that there's enough people to produce enough sales to make the business viable. Last, but definitely not least, is that so many businesses make a mistake of not having a very clear marketing and sales strategy in place. If you aren't getting enough people to know about who you are, that are part of your product market fit, if you don't have a really clear way of selling what it is that you have to offer, you're going to be dead. You could do everything else right in terms of starting a business, but if you're the best kept secret, you're going to be the first business to close. So you really need to make sure that you have a great marketing and sales strategy in place. I'm sure there's other mistakes you could think of that businesses often make. If you want to share those in the comments below, I would love to get your thoughts. As you guys know, we have a business that helps out with consulting and helping out with marketing, staff, sales. If you ever need any help, make sure and reach out to me below. We'd love to talk to you about what we could do to help serve your business. And as always, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and take care.